business case that tells you exactly the nuts and bolts of what is going to happen at, in particular, Charing Cross, beds, exactly how the emergency facilities will work, so that we can scrutinise them. Is that when it's after it's submitted to NHS England in mid-March, or will it still be confidential at that stage?
The detailed business case, sorry, I should introduce myself. I'm Claire Parker, I'm the new Chief Officer for the CCTs. At that stage, the full business case will still be confidential because, as we said, it's a draft and is likely to need quite a lot of iteration to it at that point.
So at what stage will it become public in a way that we can scrutinise it? Because obviously we haven't. So let me be clear about this. Since the independent reconfiguration panel produced its report, part of which said there needed to be a new settlement or something different for Charing Cross Hospital and Ealing Hospital, we haven't seen a full plan as to what will happen on that site. We've seen, of course, the part of the clinical strategy that Imperial had, but we haven't seen that plus the buildings and other strategies. So we haven't had the chance to fully scrutinise a full plan for the Charing Cross site, which it was clear from the independent reconfiguration panel report needed to be sort of brought forward. So I think the question is when will we be able to see and scrutinise a full plan of that sort. So you may not, if you don't know the answer, I mean that's a pertinent question.
So we're discussing amongst ourselves whether we know. The issue is that whilst the independent review panel made some findings, as indeed then the Secretary of State made some statements about the independent review, the outline of the local hospital remains consistent with the DMBC, which is the decision-making business case that preceded it. What we're discussing is whether we will be allowed to reveal the clinical details, and we are very happy to ask those questions of NHS London and NHS England, and if we are allowed to reveal them to you, we will indeed do so.
Well, so certainly we would want to know whether you are or not, but at what stage we can see a proper plan that we can scrutinise, and not the bits and pieces, substantial but nonetheless incomplete view that we've got so far. Councillor Luke.